Have you ever spent $200 on a pair of pants? Well, if you haven't, then you haven't shopped at Lululemon. Ticker symbol LULU. The stock and company Lululemon is very well known for their high quality and high prices, but it makes sense. I mean, you get what you pay for, and Lululemon delivers very, very high quality clothing. That's the company we're going to be talking about today, jumping into this video with a beautiful stock setup for us. Ticker symbol LULU had highs at $516 just last year at this time last December, before pulling back and then dropping from $470 all the way down to lows at $225 this past August. Massive beatdown on two different earnings occasions, and overall the stock just had a lot of negativity and sellers. Now, because of this, we have all of a sudden had this reversal happen in August, and this was caused by a few things: overreaction to the downside and a huge sell-off that was just bound to turn around. But also now we have a couple positive factors moving forward for the company. One being this earnings that we last reported, which was at the end of August, which caused the stock to not necessarily rally, but overall keep its trend in an upward direction. And it allowed us to further break through this resistance area that we've been trying to break through. Now remember, support area is something that we can hold above, and resistance area is something we can't break above. We couldn't break above this. We've tried once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and a 5th time here before we finally, in October, were able to break through this 280 barricade and jump through to the upside. And since then, we haven't even turned around to see 380 or 280. We're now up to 330. So this is now another area of support that we just got to keep watch on for. It's great that we have this area now, but Lulu likes to rally very strong when it breaks through these resistance areas, and we've seen this before, but it also likes to fall very, very hard when it hits this rejection of a resistance area. We've seen it before, from 338 down to 310, 305 area within just a couple hours of happening. So we've also seen it the other way, where we've seen it jump from 280 and rally all the way up to $300 within just a couple days. So we like the odds that Lulu likes to rally when it can break through different resistance points. And now we are at a price point right here, which is at $340 resistance area. We've tested it once back here, and it was a rejection level. And we tested it once or twice the other day, and we tested it now again today. We broke to the downside. We couldn't break through. This will be a massive resistance area we break through, because if we can hold above, see this red line right here? This is our overall directional SMA line. If we can hold above this SMA line, that means we are in an overall uptrend. And if we're in an overall uptrend with breaking through resistance areas, this is going to take this stock to the next level. Now, on top of that, we have upcoming earnings on December 5th after hours, 3:30 Central Standard Time, so 30 minutes after the market closes. This stock will report earnings. This is going to be a big earnings report. We've seen how the stock reacts in the past. We've definitely experienced the downside for the way the stock behaves and performs in the past with earnings. But let's see what happens leading up to this stock. We're already starting to see somewhat of a rally, up 4.5% today. A nice start to the week. Let's start to see if we could maybe break through this resistance area. And if we do, we're all in, because this thing's got enough room to run from 340 to 370 without any resistance in here. And then on top of that, if we have a good earnings report, this will take the stock from $370 to $400 plus easily. Speaking of $400, let's check out some price targets from tipranks.com. We've seen the way that Lulu's been trading, and because of that, these price targets are actually very, very reasonable. If anything, they're more conservative than what I believe, at least. Looking at the highest price targets, you got $380. I think by the end of the year, that's a good price target for the stock, $380. But I also think that could be happening within the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how earnings happens here. On top of that, we have an average price target of 335. That's about exactly where we're at right now. And a low price target of 220, which was our lows this past August. That's about average. I think, though, they're going to see a strong surge of price target upgrades. Obviously, we always see price target upgrades and downgrades when a stock reports earnings. And I think that when Lululemon reports earnings on December 5th, they're going to have a surge of price target upgrades if they reported strong earnings. And looking at the earnings expected at least the full year. And looking forward to a fiscal year of 2025, the company in itself is looking a lot better than we were back in June and even back in April this past year. The stock itself is looking stronger. It's looking like it's finally turning around, making that turn around the corner of the downward spiral that we were just at. And honestly, I think that if you have a couple price target upgrades, this will help carry it to that $400 mark. And I know $400 seems so far away. It's $60 away roughly. But I think that this stock has so much potential just because it's been a sleeping giant, and the way that it trades, I think that this is easy money for you to make in the stock market. So talking about day trading, swing trading, and long-term investing, what's the plan for this one? Let's pull it up here for you guys. So my first thing would be to day trade this thing over the next couple days and play off of the pre-anticipatory hype to earnings. Earnings is going to be coming out on the 5th. So let's watch what happens the next few days and really see if we can hold above this overall directional SMA line, if we can break through this resistance. If we break through this resistance, I think this thing runs from 340 to 370. Mark my words, watch it, set some alerts, do what you got to do your own research. But if this thing breaks above 340, I'm going to be trading this thing because it's going to run to at least 360, 365, and 370, which is our next resistance areas. We're gonna have a massive day with Lulu if that happens. On top of that, that'll just confirm even more that we are in an overall uptrend with this red SMA line right here. Both of those are very positive factors for us moving forward, and that's going to allow us to take this trade to the next level. If we report strong earnings, you day traders are going to have a great day, or a great, potentially even week, the way that this thing starts to move. This thing definitely sways one way or the other very strongly and very heavily, like we've seen off of news. So I think that if we have a strong earnings report, you're going to want to take this thing at the pre-anticipatory hype and the post-reaction hype. This thing's going to run after earnings as long as we don't have too much of a run up before earnings. But I think that right now this is the exact run up that we want, the pre-anticipatory run up to earnings. I think we're going to have a couple green days, and I think that we're going to bust through this 340 area and head to the next resistance up at 370. Now, for you swing traders, I think that right now you got to watch this resistance area. If you're looking to swing trade this, that means trade within the next couple weeks, the next couple months. Just watch to see which way it goes. I think you have a strong support here at 280, which we're pretty high on that right now. I think that if we get rejected one more time, we hit the ground and fall back to 300, then we got to watch and see what happens with the overall direction of the stock. But I think you got to watch for the break above here, and right like that, it's 4 o'clock, the end of the trading day on Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, the stock itself, like I said, touched it today, tried to break through that 340. You gotta watch for it to go through that 340 area and break through resistance and then hold above 340. So then that's our new support area, because that will be huge. Now for you long-term investors, if you're not long-term in this thing now, I want you to sit in the sidelines and at least wait to see what happens with this earnings. If you're looking for legitimately to get into this play for if a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, this is definitely a play that right now it's at a decent price. I think for a discount, I think you're going to see a massive rally to the upside or a massive pullback to the downside based off of this earnings. Right now though, the way that it's trading, the way that our earnings are set up for it, obviously do your own due diligence and research before jumping in. I think you have a very strong, if stronger at least, possibility of it rallying off of earnings and breaking through 360 or 340 area and running to 360, 370 because of the way that it's set up right now. I think that you got a better chance at doing that. If anything, I would call it like a almost like a 60-40 right now. Obviously, you want to look into the way that you want to trade or invest in this thing, but let's see what happens with the way that we've been trading. I think that you have a very good chance of it continuing to rally. But if you're looking for that long-term entry, let's wait to see if we can break through 340. If we do break through 340, let's see maybe even a little bit of a pullback for you. But that's also a strong signal if it hits 340 that you may not see this thing stop anytime soon, because we got resistance at 370, and then after that, we're headed to $400. So guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the stock Lululemon. This has been a sleeping giant that's starting to wake up, but we want to catch it before it starts to really take off. We had a great day today, up $13, 4.5%. Let's see what happens moving forward. We got earnings on December 5th. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys want me to go over with stocks in the future, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.